Thursday Night Football, Ravens, Chiefs. This is going to be a hell of a matchup right now. But Lamar Jackson was recently asked about his relationship with Mahomes, where he said he doesn't have a relationship with him or any other quarterback. And he was also asked if this was a revenge game because the last time we saw the Baltimore Ravens, they were getting butt-whooped by the Kansas City Chiefs, and Lamar did not look that great. But take a listen to his answer when asked if this game against Mahomes and the Chiefs was considered a revenge game for him.
I'm approaching like any other game, but it's the start of the season, so we got to make a great impression for the first game of the season.
When you say you're approaching like any other game, revenge won't be on your mind at all. I'm sure it'll be on the Ravens' flops mind.
I mean, any game I play in, I feel like it's a revenge game, so I'm not just going to look at this game like a revenge game. Anybody we play, no matter if we beat them or lost to them previous years, I just want to win.
So I want to know, do you think the pressure is mounting on Lamar Jackson, or do you think Mahomes has something to prove against the team that he beat last time, but shouldn't have gone that way? That's what people are still asking. What do you think?
I think there's more pressure on the Ravens. They're going to be playing at the Chiefs. That's a tough place to play, man. That's a loud stadium. Their fans are really into it. And it's the first game of the season. Also, the Chiefs, they lost last year in the opener to the Lions. They don't want that to happen again. So they've gone out and gotten more wide receiver talent. They've traded for Hollywood Brown. They picked up Xavier Worthy in the draft, and he's looked very good in the preseason. The Ravens were the number 1 seed last year. Mahomes and Jackson have played each other 4 times now, including the playoffs. The Chiefs are 3-1. The only loss they had was a 36-35 game, 1-point game back in 2021. That was a while ago. The road to the Super Bowl, I think, goes through Kansas City this year. Jackson struggled in the AFC Championship game. He only had a 54% completion percentage. They should have run the ball more. We've talked a lot about this. We think that the offensive coordinator made a mistake there trying to pass the ball a lot. They had success with their passing game, but the Chiefs were expecting that, and they defended it well. They should have made an adjustment and gone more to the run. He also had an interception that game. It was critical right near the end, right down near the goal line. So it was a tough game for Lamar. I think he's probably learned a lot from that game, and I think he's going to be more focused this year. But the Chiefs look like they were better on paper this year than they were last year. They have Worthy. He can stretch the field. He's going to give more room underneath for Kelsey and Rice, and I think they'll exploit that. The Chiefs can manage the clock with Pacheco and using those drag routes that I just mentioned. September is a dominant month for the Chiefs. They're 16-4 in their last 20 games. The weather looks like it might put a little damper on the passing game, maybe a 55% chance of rain at 7 p.m. And Hollywood Brown is going to be out with a sternoclavicle joint dislocation that he suffered in the preseason. That sounds very serious, but I think he's only out 1 week. Worthy says he feels real comfortable in understanding the system and its nuances. He says he's not nervous, but he's ready. In college, he had 197 receptions, almost 3,000 yards for 26 TDs. So he looks like he's going to be an exciting talent.
Well, I think one of the most important things when it comes to this Ravens team is the loss on defense. How are they going to look with some of their massive losses on defense, right? You lost Patrick Queen, Geno Stone, Jadeveon Clowney. You also lost your defensive coordinator in Mike McDonald going over to the Seattle Seahawks to be their head coach. But what I also think is quite interesting, and I want to get your take on this. So, in history, let's go back to 2012. Since 2012, the teams that lost the season opener versus teams that you lost to in the playoffs. So this would be one of the scenarios. Ravens lost in the playoffs to the Kansas City Chiefs and then are going to play them in the season opener. Check this out. I want to get your reaction to this stat. The records, the outcomes, they're not great. One playoff team since 2012. Mostly losing records. You got a 500 record in there. You even got a tie from the 2013 Packers. These teams don't perform very well if they lose this game. So my big thing is this is a must win. The Ravens have to win this game because if they don't, it's not going to be a good start. You need to get that ugly taste out of your mouth. But let's be honest here. Not only are the losses on defense, offensive line-wise, you lost Morgan Moses, starting tackle. You lost your starting offensive guard and John Simpson, both going to the Jets. The offensive line could be a massive problem because you have a brand new left guard, and right tackle. A bunch of brand new pieces around. Not great. Not great at all. But however, they drafted Nate Higgins. Pretty good pickup. He was tearing it up in the preseason. You added Derrick Henry. Yeah, remember him? Yeah, he's going to be dominant, I think. But my only concern with Derrick Henry is taking carries away from each other, him and Lamar Jackson, because Lamar works his best when he is that true dual threat. Mark Andrews is back. He got into, I think, a car accident recently. He looks like he's back and good. Zay Flowers, another year under this system with Todd Monken. He made a couple rookie mistakes in crucial spots, especially in the playoff game, diving for the goal line, and I think Snead knocked it out at the goal line, which is pretty big. And speaking about that, on the other side, the Chiefs lost L'Jarius Snead. That could be a pretty big loss, although your front seven's still great. You still got a pretty decent secondary. Trent McDuffie is still pretty good. You added Hollywood Brown, although he'll probably be out this first game. My big pick that I was really harking on when we did our draft analysis for this upcoming season was I said the Chiefs should draft Xavier Worthy. And what did they do? They went out and drafted Xavier Worthy, trading up with the Buffalo Bills, which, again, Buffalo Bills and the Chiefs. How about the Bills stop giving the Chiefs the win there? And let's not, sugarcoat this at all. The Chiefs have a great offensive line, except for the two tackles. The two tackles could be a massive issue if the Ravens' top 5 defensive front can start pressuring Mahomes, although Mahomes, for some reason, it's crazy to look, he never goes down for whatever reason. The Baltimore Ravens have Lamar Jackson. He's now a one-time unanimous MVP and a second-time MVP, which he was one vote off of being the two-time unanimous MVP. The other first-place vote went to go over to Josh Allen. But he, in this system, was a much more effective and efficient passer. I think that's something that we really haven't seen from Lamar since last season because Greg Roman decided he'd like to use Lamar's athletic ability more than have him sit in the pocket. I think, based on this, and here's my pick. I'm going to give my pick right now. I think if Todd Monken learned his lesson, and this Chiefs defense, which is basically the same, not many massive moving pieces, this defense, unless Steve Spagnuolo decided to, let's switch it up, let's focus more, less on the pass and more on the run, the Chiefs were one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL last season, rushing defense in the NFL last season. Now you added Derrick Henry instead of Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. That's an upgrade. Todd Monken needs to learn his lesson from the AFC Championship game. Yes, you want Lamar to be a more effective passer. But when it comes down to it, play to your strengths. Run the damn ball. Ravens, and by the way, I just want to throw this out here. I've been 3-0 in the past 3 years in my Thursday night picks. My week 1 opening day picks, I've been 3-0. The Bucs over the Cowboys, Bills over the Rams, and Lions over the Chiefs last season. This is a must-win for the Baltimore Ravens. Because just like history said, let's bring it up one more time. History says, chances are you're not going to do that great. And also, the Ravens' schedule is pretty hard. My pick, Ravens 27, Chiefs 24, Ravens upset the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1.
And my pick is the Chiefs win 23-17.
I think that's a safe pick. A lot of people are picking that. I think if the Ravens need to stick to their game plan, you have Derrick Henry, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Zay Flowers, you have Mark Andrews. Run the football.
I think the Ravens, as you said, they lost a lot of pieces on defense. They made a lot of changes on offense. It's a lot of changes to go up against in your first game. I could see maybe facing the Chiefs in week 6. And when you've got everything all smoothed out and all the chemistry is back and everyone knows what everyone else is doing, but to go in there the first game of the season, to go to Arrowhead against the Chiefs, who have almost all their players back, and Mahomes, a 2-time MVP winner, and Jackson, also a 2-time MVP winner. It's a big game. It's a marquee game. It's going to have millions. It's going to be a very highly watched game. I just see the Chiefs winning this game. I had a couple more comments on a couple of the 3 Chiefs that need to do something this year to make sure they hang in there with the team. Sky Moore, he was the 2022 second-round pick for them, and now he's relegated to be the backup kick returner behind Hardman. His career yards about 500, 1 TD. Mahomes' passer rating when throwing to him is only 50.8. Rice wound up outplaying him last year and took a lot of snaps away from him. And they've also picked up Juju Smith-Schuster. So what does that say about their confidence in Sky Moore? So he's got to do something this year, or I'd say he's going to be gone. Felix Azuma, defensive end. He was their 2023 first-round pick. He only played 20% of the defensive snaps last year. He'll pay more with this Umanio is recovering from a torn ACL. So we'll see whether he can get in there for more snaps. But the Chiefs went out and picked up Cam Thomas, acquired to bolster the defensive line. So I'm not sure whether Felix Azuma is going to get many snaps, and maybe he looks like a bust and a first-round pick in 2023. And finally, Jalen Watson. He looks like the starter to replace Janarius Sneed, who was a big loss, wound up going to the Eagles. Watson was a 7th-round 2022 pick. He when he was in there last year, he only allowed completion percentage of 53.3%, which is very good when targeted. He got more snaps as the season went on, and he played a lot in the postseason. So we'll see if he can step into Snead's shoes and retain and hang on to that starting job. And finally, Hilaire, their backup running back, is out for the first 4 games with a mental issue, with PTSD. So he's not going to be there. I think he's generally quite a good running back. In most teams, he'd be the starter. So Pacheco has to have some relief sometime in the game, and it won't be Hilaire for at least the first 4 games.
Well, I think they'll probably get somebody, and that's why they're going out and looking, and they were talking to a bunch of players because of Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's situation. So I think when it comes down to it, it's going to be a great game. Great way to start off Week 1, an AFC Championship game rematch between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs favored by -3 points. A quick recap on our picks. It's me, Ravens, 27-24. Steve and Harvey over there, 23-17. Chiefs over the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going with my history. Picking right, 3-0. Feel good about it. That's the first pick of the 2024-25 season coming from the Harvey Hour. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.